When analyzing data using Power BI, you will write some calculations and formulas to solve problems. In this lesson, you will learn how to write basic calculations using Power BI desktop. Okay, so open your Microsoft Power BI. What I want to do, I want to open the saved Power BI file that we did in the previous lessons. So I want to show you how you can, if for instance you accept your work and then you close your Power BI desktop, I want to show you how to open your work and continue working from there. Okay, so this is my Power BI desktop. To open a saved Power BI file, you can do that using this dialog box here. So this is the last file I saved. Okay, all your recent files will be listed here. So you can click right here and the file will be opened. So let me close. I want to show you another way to do that. Let me close this dialog box. Then click on File. When you click on File, you click on Report here and then come to where you have Browse Report. Click on it. So this will take you to where you saved your Power BI file. My own was saved on the desktop. So let me go to Desktop, Training Resources, Power BI Class. Let me click on Power BI Class and click on Open. So Power BI will open that file so you can continue working on it. All right. So let's do basic calculations. There is a module that talks about advanced calculations in Power BI in this course. So this one is just basic calculations in Power BI, which I want to introduce you to. So on the left hand side, click on data icon here. Okay, this is the data icon. We'll click on it. Then click on cells. Click on cells. We want to examine our cells data so we know exactly what we want to do. On this sales data, I have sales amount here as a column. This is sales amount column. Okay, what I want to do, I want to sum all the cells in this column. I want to sum all the cells. In other words, I want to just say this plus this plus this plus this plus this and all that. But I don't want to do that one after the other. I just want to use a formula or use a function in Power BI and then sum all the content of this column called sales amount. Also, we have a product cost here. Product cost. We want to do the same thing. We want to sum all the product costs, and then the next thing we need to do, we need to subtract product cost from sales amount in order to have or to get our profit. Okay, so this is the basic calculations which I want to show you how to do before we move on to the next task. Before you do any calculations, you need to understand how you do this calculation, most especially understanding your columns and understanding your table as well. The name of this table is cells. The cells table here has all these columns. The columns first you want to calculate is the sales amount. For you to have access to this sales amount column, you need to specify the table name, which is cells. So in other words, you need to just say cells and then sales amount. Let me show you how it works. So let me go back to the report view by clicking on the report icon here. On the sales table, right click on the sales table and then click on new measure. This is new measure. Click on new measure here. I don't want to go into details what measure is, but then there is a section on measures and then calculations, so you learn more about it. So since I want to calculate the total sales, okay, total sales, what I need to do is to just say total sales equals sum. So the sum is just summing all the record that you have in a particular column. Remember, the columns you want to sum is the sales amount and sales amount columns is on the sales table, is in a sales table. So you need to first of all specify the sales table before the columns. Take a look at what we have here. Okay, so here we have budget. Budget is the table name, and then this budget you have here is a column. Below it we have budget, and then we have category. So to go to the sales amount on the sales table, what we need to do is to enter single quote here, and then as you enter single quote, you just type sales. Okay, IntelliSense will suggest for you, all you need to do is to use your mouse and come slowly to where you have sales amount and click on it. So remember, we opened a bracket here for this sum function. So we need to close this bracket like this and then press the enter key. So this is how simple it is. Okay, so in this case, we have created a calculation called total sales. Now take a look at these calculations here, total sales. You can see there is a calculator icon close to the total cell we just created. These icons differentiate these total cells from every other columns you have here. This is not this is not calculator icon. This is calendar. But here we have calculator icon. This indicates that there is a calculation. A calculation has been done, or a measure has been created, which is called total sales. Okay, so let me just display. Let me show you how to look at the total sales we just created. On the visualization pan here, let's click on card. Click on this card where you have 1, 2, 3. Click on the card. I'll click on it, and then I will drag it to the center so we can see it clearly. Let's drag these total cells like this. Remember, this is total cells that we created. So let's drag it to the fields. This is the fields text box. You drop it there. All right. What you have here is the sum total of all the cells in the sales table here, which is on the sales amount column. Okay, so this is the total sales of all these cells that I just showed you. We want to create another calculations to sum all the product cost. I hope you know how to do that. The same way, let's right click on cells and click on new measure here. So we're going to call this measure total cost. Call it total, sorry. Okay. All right, let me right click again. Right click on cells, new measure. So I'll call my measure name or my calculation name total cost equals, I now say sum. Okay, then remember the product cost column is in the sales table, so we need to specify the sales table in order to have access to the product cost column. To do that, single quote, then begin to type sales, and then Power BI will suggest some columns here. Let's scroll down to where we have product cost. Okay, see product cost here. Let's close it and press the enter key. So the same way, to see this product cost calculation, let's click on the card visuals again. Remember, you need to tap out. Ensure that you're not on the last card we created. So don't highlight it. Click outside and then click on card here again. So here we just need to go to under cells. We created the calculations under the sales table. This is the total cost. So let's drag it as usual and then drop it under the fields text box. So here, what you see here is the total cost. Look at it. Look at the product cost here. Okay. So The system has summed all the product cost, and then we name it as what? Total cost. So what we need to do, we need to create another calculation, okay, to show us our profit. Remember, profit is simply subtracting your cost from your revenue, from your income. This is how to get your profit. So let's see how to do that. We need to click on the sales table, right click on the sales table, click on new measure. Here we need to just type in the name profit, okay, profit like this. This is the name of the calculation we want to do. Equals, so what we need to do to get the profit, we need to subtract total cost from the total sales measures we created. How do we do that? Just put in your bracket like this and then select total sales. Okay, total sales minus total cost. Now see the way I specify my measure inside this square bracket. Okay, I put in my measure name and then I use this operator, the subtraction operator, to subtract total cost from total sales. Let's hit the enter key on the keyboard. All right, so let's click on cart again. On the visualizations pan, let's click on cart. Then this time around, let's position it here, and then let's come down to where we have profit. Okay, let's drag it to the fields. What do we have here? This is the total sales we have. Then this is the total cost. Then this is our profit. So this is how to do basic calculations in Power BI. Like I said before, there is a module on calculations, advanced calculations in Power BI using DAX. So you learned more in that module. I just wanted to introduce you to how you can create, little and basic calculations using Power BI desktop, just to introduce you to it. See you in the next lesson.